Morning. I'm just going to turn this off. I'm trying to find me on Facebook. Just waiting for you all to come back over from Julia. Good morning, everybody. Sunday, sunny in Cornwall. Now, can I find me on Facebook? Do you know, you've probably twigged, me and Technicals doesn't do it, but good morning, everybody. I'm just going to, somewhere. There we are. I find it on here so that I can actually look at your comments and answer and all that sort of stuff, because at a distance I can't see. Hopeless. So what have we got going on? That does seem to be there now. Just give everyone a couple of minutes. Well, you're all coming across from Julia. She's had some lovely stuff on there today, some very fabulous stuff. I just realised my sunflowers are possibly a bit too big in the picture. Just what you can't see is the mess on this table. There's masses of it. So it's all gradually coming this way. Those that come into my cupboard will appreciate the fact that it's probably a mess as normal. So, good morning. What have we got going on? Who have we got going on? So, Mandy, morning. Carol, Kim, Debbie, Moya, Jan. Morning, Julia. Yeah, lovely flowers. I love my sunflowers. I'm on a diet again. So when I went shopping, instead of buying stuff that is nice, I bought myself sunflowers because they cheer me up and they're my favourite. We love a sunflower. So who else is around? I've lost myself now. Sarah Jane, good morning. Lish, morning darling. Elaine, Sonia, Wendy, Joe, Jackie. And a quick shout out to Elf. I hope you feel better soon, darling. If you've got COVID, that's not nice. That's really not nice. I hope it's not too awful for you. Right, where are we? We're all coming on now. There's quite a few of you there. So, what have I got for you this week? I've had a delivery of fabric, or at least I've ordered a load of fabric. And what happens is I've got to choose some stuff immediately, and it's like, oh, these are all just gorgeous. So I've got a whole load of Lewis and Irene stuff coming. And to be fair, it's like Julia said, we need to pay bills. I'm just going to chuck this straight back out again at a really good price. All right. So today, tomorrow, £8 a metre. So I'll sell that in half meters. All my stuff on my website is half meters. All right. So the easiest way, because there's like quite a bit of it, I'll just show you. That's got a gorgeous little girly. I don't do girly. It's metallic gold and it's got unicorns, and we like that one. Unlike me, those that know, I don't do children. So we've got a couple that go together here. Now this one has already partly gone from those that have come into the cupboard. Dragonflies, very cute, goes very nicely with butterflies, and this is another metallic, and again all only £8 a metre. So that one you could go Christmas with. It's really very gorgeous. So that's those two. Oh, we have got a Christmas. Look, I've been busy cutting them up and wrapping them up ready for shows. That's the point. Let me put that on my list of things to tell you about, because I'll forget otherwise. Look, the Christmas trees. Those that know, I absolutely love Christmas trees. So, every year I do Christmas trees all over the place. There we go. All right. So it's like gingerbread, and there's little gingerbread men in there and little gingerbread houses, and do you know, I can see this made into Christmas gift bags. I really can. Or, you know, wrap your present in a fat quarter. That's what I tend to do. And it's just, don't make anything of it, and then whoever gets it gets to make something with it. So that's just an odd Christmas one that I got that was rather good. And then we got three that will go together really nicely here. So bearing in mind, when you're picking your fabrics, very often you're just looking for colour, aren't you? Does the colour work? You don't always look at the pattern. So on this is a rather gorgeous little golden dragon. It's lovely. It's really pretty. And those of you that know, I don't usually do red. I love that because I love that one that goes with it. And these are all metallic, only £8 a metre. Once they're gone, they're gone. So that's those two. And then this lovely, lovely warm spot one that's going to go with those two. Yeah. Very useful fabric, that one. Yeah, useful. Goes with all sorts, that will. Right, and then we've got another bundle here. So this is my absolute favourite of the ones that I got. So that's got dicky birds in it. We like little pink dicky birds, lovebird type things with hearts. So again, a nice useful if you're into dark. I'll show you something else I'm working on at the minute, and I think I'm going to have to use that in it. So there might not be a lot of that available because I might requisition that. Looks like sea, water, whatever you want it to. That actually goes and comes from the same range as the dragon. All right, so they actually go together. But I thought also it looks really nice with these, which are the 3 more that go together. See, colour-wise, they're quite good. These have got bunny rabbits on, jumping around the place and sitting and doing, and little flowers, and very sweet. So that goes very nicely with that one. Then this one, has that got something on it? It hasn't. This is just a nice little, oh, it has. It's got unicorns on it again. Because when I got this one, it's silver, so there is metallic again, but unicorns. So if you've got a youngster that you need to do things for, I thought that would be really cool. And actually at that price you could use it for backing even, couldn't you? It's not a bad one. And then there's another one that's not dissimilar, but that's hares. That one's not metallic, but that's really rather lovely. So those are all on my website. For those that don't know, and the rest of you, I'm sorry to bore you, Abbieanne.com. All right. If you put in Abbieanne, if ever you Google Abbieanne, you'll get all sorts. I did it the other day. I've never done this before. People say you shouldn't Google yourself, and I don't. But all sorts of things came up. It was quite interesting, actually. Loads and loads of photos. And lots of my old stuff, which was really very interesting. But anyway, so Abbieanne.com is my website. So you'll find that with the shop and bits of info and all sorts of stuff. But it'll also chuck up for you if you're into, obviously, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all that sort of stuff. All right, so there we go. So anyway, that little pile of Lewis and Irene are all only £8 a metre. So if you go on the website, I've actually got a separate thing that's a 3Amigo special offers. So there's a few bits and pieces left from previous weeks in there, and all this new stuff today. Right, so where are we? Oh, we're doing all right. Okay, what else have I got for you this week? This is probably the next one to do. Julie's always on about cutting thousands of bits of fabric. I was cutting thousands of bits of fabric this week. So we've got a new little pack. Okay, now this has come about from, I've had visitors this week. I've had patchworky ladies staying with me. And we were talking, and I've got a new design going to be coming up and out. All right, so they were commenting that their scraps weren't as wide a variety as my scraps. And the particular design that I'm going to do, let me show you very quickly. So that's the centre block, okay? So this is going to be another scrap quilt, because I like my scrap quilts. And these are sort of the rounds anyway. So there's hundreds of blocks. So that's a new one that I hope to have finished, or at least the quilt top finished, ready for Doncaster show, which is in a couple of weeks' time. But while I was doing, this comment came out that their stashes might not have everything that they would want to see in a scrap quilt like this. So why didn't I do up some packs of? So I have. They're 10 inches by 3, or thereabouts. Some are a bit bigger, some might be slightly odd shaped, but that's just me and my cutting, because I was doing it so quick and there was so much of it. So there's 32 different pieces of very jolly fabric. All right, so you've got well over 1/2 metre there. I'll put a picture on the front so that you can see that they are all different and cover all sorts of things. And I think I put them on at £9, but there's well over 1/2 metre there. All right, just to add to your own scraps and stash so that you've got a variety. That's the general idea. But then I thought afterwards, well, do you know what? I've got a quilt indoors that I use all the time. But you could do something like that and pop all your own ones in there, plus a few extra. So, you know, if you want to work out of your comfort zone, or you don't want... There's very often you need just a little bit of something, but you don't want to buy a fat quarter. Why would you want a fat quarter of something you're only going to use a little bit of? That's what these are designed for. As I say, the shape was really because I had petals in mind for the next quilt. But I've wrapped them all differently, but they are all the same, all right? So each pack contains the same. There we go. So that's that. Right, what's going on the questions and things here? Where have we got to? Or I've gone back upwards here. Morning, Rose, Jane. Who else is here? King of Retreats is here. Good morning, sir. I hope you're well. I'll talk to you about a few bits of retreat in a minute. Carol, Rosemary, Stella, Helen, Julie. Where are we? Sarah Jane. It would be nice as a background with your octopus. Yes, it would. It would be very bright. Love the daisies. Yeah, Carol, I can't wait to see the little one that you've started because of the colours. Morning, Margaret. Right, we were at Barrington Court yesterday, and I loved the brick path in different patterns. I saw quilts. Yeah, doesn't that happen, Carol? Wherever you might be, patterns constantly on floors, in tiles. I see stuff everywhere. I was just about, yeah, I'm crazy enough as it is. I see dead people. You never know. I'm sure they're there, and I think I do on occasion. But I do love scrap quilt. So this is my beginner's quilt, generally, that I will teach to people, or something similar to this, and you can see scrappy. We love scrappy. So that's what they're all about. Okay, and then also, no, I'll do that at the end. That's a little prezi for someone at the end. We'll do that at the end. What can I say next? I was supposed to finish, and you all know this, my Christmas tree. As far as I got was getting me stick. I did get me stick. So I need to cover that. And then put him on the bottom and put a bucket on the bottom. But why I'm showing you this again, there is a free pattern and tutorial, not a tutorial, but a how-to, over on Patchwork Witterings of Abbieanne. So that's the group that's attached to my Facebook page. And in there you'll find photos and whatever, how to do that. But why I'm telling you about that is some people, on and on, even so, wanted patterns. So I have done up a quick pattern. That's only, it's only a £5. I'm not charging full price for that. Can't do. I don't feel right doing that. So that's that. But why I'm telling you today is I've had me fripperies come in. I'd love a frippery or embellishments. You'll find them. I've put them in the shop under bits and bobs, and also obviously under 3Amigos. Right, so what we've got, because you need 10 things to hang, all right, they're baubles that you can get anywhere. But there we have lots of lovely Christmas trees. There we have a different set of Christmas trees. Now they've actually got diamantes and things on. They're really very cute. I've only got a few of them. All right, and then we have larger stuff. All right, so in the larger stuff, they're all different. There's hundreds of them. Yeah, there's all sorts. There's little wooden beads and hearts and all sorts of stuff there to hang in your Christmas trees. They're only, I think they're £4 each. I've put them out. That's it. The only thing is if you buy this big one, you need to buy something else with it because it's going to come out as a parcel. It won't go through as a large letter. So that might cost you a little bit extra in postage, or if that's the only thing you order, I might actually have to say sorry, can't do. The other thing I need to say as well is the Christmas, not the Christmas trees, but the summer and autumn trees that I do. There are kits, but look, we've had new or more fripperies come in. So I've been busy making up packs of stuff this week. And I only thought to stick it on card about 2 minutes before Julia finished. So while you were watching Julia, I'm there with me. Look, heavy duty carpet tape. Double-sided, sticking it on there and getting them all so that I could show you. Because in bags, I suddenly thought, how am I going to show you that? I'm not with it, not with it. So yeah, so fripperies are all available on the site, and the pattern is if you really need it. If not, there's a free copy of that on Patchwork Witcherings of Abbieanne. All right, so that's those. Right, what else have we got? What else have we got? Oh, I know. Because we were thinking, or I was thinking, scraps and stuff, it's brought me back to one of my older patterns, Dropped the Dresden. All right, so what I am going to do, here's one we prepared earlier. If I don't kill everything, let me just take that down there. Take that down there. And hopefully you can see my quilt called Drop the Dresden. Dropped for the simple reason someone's exploded it, yeah, and it's been appliqued in there and a few in the corners. So quite obviously, oh, chair nearly went, a scrap quilt. Okay, pattern is available on its own, but there's an offer at the minute I've just done. Literally, as Julia started, I suddenly thought, why haven't I done this before? Because it's been around a while, but you don't all know that. And then there's a Dresden plate template, as made by Little Man What I Know, Crafty UK Andy, thank you very much. But yeah, so there's your Dresden petal shape for this, so you can buy the two together at a reduced price. I think, I want to say they're over there at 12 quid. I could be wrong, but you need to go on the website and have a little look at that. All right, so you get through all sorts of scraps, but actually you could use those in all of it as well, which might be very good. When I do scraps, I'm a bit of a one. I like every single bit of fabric different if I can manage it. So I rummage all sorts. And I have to say, the scraps aren't out my scraps. They're out off the bolts and stuff. That was a thought as well, while I'm thinking about it. Christmas fabrics. Would one like that in Christmas interest anybody? Because if it does, then I'll cut and make some up for next time. Just a thought. Yeah, so Drop the Dresden. Now, the actual template will do you a full proper Dresden. Okay, so it will fit into a 12-inch block. When I teach beginners, which was this other quilt behind me, have I done one on here? No, I did it slightly different, because this is one I did during the Witters. Again, I've done it as an exploded, but I can never find, and you get all these wonderful, very clever Dresden plate cheeses with circles and all the rest of it, and I can never get them to work. So I got Andy to make me one of my own, so I know it fits nicely into a 12-inch block. Job done. So it's got more than one use, so together. There we go. Let's have a little look over it. Should we have a little look over it? It's sunshine here, by the way. Oh, the door's going to slam. I meant to... Oh, no, it stopped. It's a little bit of wind. Right, what have we got here? Right, love the daisies. Good morning from Sheila. Got my charms, thanks, Abby. Excellent. Rose, you had the Diamante ones, didn't you? The very pretty tree ones. And I think we actually managed to get them to Northern Ireland for you, which was good. Just going to say, I like that blue and yellow quilt behind you, and you took it down. Sorry, Sarah Jane. Sorry, darling. We'll stick it back up later. You'll find it actually in Patchwork Witcherings, I think. It's in the group again, photos and things. Right, let's have a little look at my bit of paper. I haven't got a pen. Oh, yes, I have a pen. I have to have a pen. Right, so that was that. Pre-cuts. I've told you about pre-cuts. I've told you about Dresden. Told you about Fripperies. That one I'm going to do last. Right, there's one other thing. I've not necessarily done an offer on this, but I just thought, I don't know if you can see that one. That's Blooming Dresden, as done with Tilda fabric. Another one that would suit very nicely, not dissimilar to this one, would suit a scrap quilt. So I just sort of grabbed that and thought, well, I'll show you that. You never know, you might like it. Retreats. Julia said about retreats, mentioned. Andy is the guy now who's taking control of us. Good luck to him with that one. Looks like the Ayr treat, well, they're both going. The Ayr and the Newcastle retreats will happen. We have the dates, as I shouted at previous, but Andy will give you more details. I have lists. I have 2 lists that are actually quite long of people interested in Ayr, which is Presswick in Ayr. So there's several ladies from Northern Ireland looking to come across, which would be fabulous. And some to come down from further, and looks like it's going to be a nice meeting place. So we're looking at Ayr and Newcastle, all right. And I've actually got quite a few of you on the list for Newcastle as well, which will be fabulous. But we're just looking for expressions of interest at the minute, as far as I'm aware. So if you're interested and you've not got your name on my list or Julia's list or Andy's list, please do so, because it looks like they're going to fill fairly quickly. All right, so that's my only bit on there. We've got Coventry coming up. So those of you that are coming to Coventry, I think we're doing our Take 3 challenge beforehand. So we have a colour, a number and a patchwork shape to make any item you want. So hopefully they're coming on. Want to see them on the Sunday night, possibly, if you've done. I've done mine last week. I've had a busy week doing all sorts. So mine's ready. Mine was 2 black Dresden petals. So I'm quite pleased with mine, but we'll see what you think when we get to it. There's others of you taking part who are not retreat people, and we're just doing that via Facebook. So I hope you're doing all right. And if anybody else wants to join in, just message me and I will do you a dip. All right, so we'll get you a number, a shape and a colour. All right, so that's that. Another thing I've been doing this last week or two, raffle for Macmillan. There's loads of prizes. All sorts of stuff, lots of patchwork stuff, lots of non-patchwork stuff. If anybody is interested and wants raffle tickets, the way I'm doing that is please message me, then backs me the money, and I will send you the photo of your tickets. And I am keeping lots of records, put it that way. So if ever anybody checks, and to make sure that I'm doing things as I should, and then we'll draw that on the 30th. So if you want any £1 a ticket, give me a shout. So that's Macmillan. Snail. Need to tell you just a brief story about a snail, and I do love snails. When we moved here 25 odd years ago, the garden hadn't been done for like 20 years, and there were snails everywhere. And we're talking snails. Jungle full of snails. They had the world to themselves and were having a lovely time until we arrived. We evicted most, but it's become a bit of a standing joke. We have snails everywhere in our house, as in ornaments, dangling off things, sticking to stuff and all over the fence and all sorts. And I'm wandering out from the cupboard here the other day. What's that? We've got power lines and phone lines coming in from the pole here that fell on me cupboard last year. And there's a lump on it. And I thought, what's that? I thought, I can't see what it is, and I need to know. So I got my phone out and did the old thingy so that I could zoom in. It was a snail upside down on the electric wire, making a bid for freedom into the trees next door. I had to take a photo. It did make me laugh. So if you want to have a little giggle, there is a photo of my snail off to freedom on Facebook. And the other thing is fishes. I have to update you with fishes, because we have, I'm just checking the time here, 24, hundreds little baby fishes, and they're getting bigger. They didn't half get through fish food. I think we're going to have to rehome some of them. We're literally, I lost count. I gave up after 100. I gave up. Because there's also hundreds of little black ones underneath as well. So we've got one whopping great, whatever he is. And he swims underneath. And then you see all these little black ones. As well as all of the other ones that you can actually visually see. And it's like, oh my God, there's thousands of them. Very successful season they've had in our pond, I tell you. So, yeah, so I've got fish in mind for something as well. We're going to have a fish quilt, I feel. It needs to be done. Needs to be done. We're going to have a fishy job. I've just added that to my list while I'm thinking of it, and I'm circling it. What else is going on? What are we? We're 25. Right, okay. What have we got? Yeah, I've got them across the water all right. They got there. Late, but I'll watch back. Hi, Lisa. Right, lovely. Now, quick recap before I tell you anything else. I suppose I ought to do my job, which is showing you what's going on, isn't it, really? I could get carried away talking. So we have lots of Lewis and Irene fabrics, mostly metallics, at only £8 a metre. Once they're gone, they're gone. There's a lovely grey one there. They do actually mostly go together. That one's really nice. As I say, a lot of, well, half of that bolt's gone already. Useful one, that. Lots of little girls, I was thinking. I don't keep a lot of child fabrics. Children at small really aren't my thing. Once they start running about, yeah, that's fine, I can go with them. And when I can make a noise with them and a mess and paint and stuff, yeah, that's good. I like them when they're that age. So I don't do a lot of, but anyway. So there's red ones with nice dragons on. That one, that's actually really quite nice. You could use that for all sorts. Even though it has actually got unicorns on, you can't really tell. And then my favourite. See, I was going to say, wasn't I? So that one and my new quilt. Look. I'm thinking sashing. So there might not be a lot of that available because I might have to have that. I think that might look really good on the new quilt. So that's, oh, and the Christmas one. Upside down. So that's all the Lewis and Irene. Lovely heavy fabrics. Really cool. Right. Then I went into scrap packs. All right. All sorts of everything brights and colourful. All right. So 32 10" by 3 on the website. Okay. So then what do we have? We had Dropped the Dresden because I'm in scrap mode, which is the one behind me. And then you get that with that. Okay. And then we have, I'm just looking at the time, 27. Oh, we're nearly there. Right, okay. Anybody out there amongst you that do crumb quilts or anything like that, just if you want, and I'll send this to you, you ain't going to pay for it. Anybody want that bag of nice little offcuts from where I was doing these? If you do, put your name in comments quick. And then I'll shout you for an address and I'll just post them out to you. All right, and a freebie. Right, Fripperies. Charms to go with this one. All right, which I will get finished soon, hopefully. I'll be at Doncaster for the next live, as will Andy. No doubt we'll sort something out and it could be a bit interesting. I might have to, I don't know, I've got to teach at some point, but I think I'm all right for teaching. Time-wise is what I'm thinking, so I think we should be all right. I have no idea what I'll be talking about or showing you or anything. It might just be a walk around a quilt show, who knows? I think it's then. I'm pretty sure it's next, yeah, next fortnight, I'm pretty sure. Do you know my brain is hopeless? Where are we? Was it? Yeah, so it'll be Doncaster. And then it'll be Malvern before we know it, and then the retreat after Malvern, which will be really cool. So if you're around, hey up, Jan Williams, you're the first one to say yes, please. Okay, Jan, can you message me your address, please, privately? And I'll sort that out and put it in the post for you. All right. Yeah, so where are we? We're at 29. So yeah, clouding over now in Cornwall, even though it was sunny to start. Sunflowers are looking fabulous anyway, so I really don't care if it's raining or not like yesterday, because they're gorgeous. All I'm going to say now is have a fabulous week, and I'm going to send you across to Andy at Crafty UK, who I'm hopeful is sat waiting in his conservatory probably for you. Who knows what he's been up to this week. He's been all over the place again. Yeah, there we go. Right, so we're 10:29. He's ready. He's going, yes. So have a fabulous week, everybody, and I'll catch up with you in a fortnight if I don't see you beforehand. All right, so yeah, what is it I usually say to everybody? Be lovely. Yeah, be good, be lovely, have a fabulous week. See ya. Ooh, I'm gone.